Hi, I'm Bree, the artist behind Stitching Witch, and today is an Everything I Crocheted for the Market vlog. And this week's market is Momocon in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is a 4-day anime convention, and I am super excited about it. If you're new here, I'm Bree. I've been a small business owner for 6 years, and I specialize in embroidery and crochet. Today we're obviously tackling the crochet side of the business, but if you're interested in more about my embroidery, I have a Momocon prep vlog that is out as well. With all of that in mind, let's go ahead and get started because I can't wait another minute to share these cuties with you. First up, we have one I literally just finished today. Just Sailor Moon. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to get her done in time to make it to this vlog, but I did just in time, so I'm very excited that I get to share her with you guys. This was one of the most time-consuming of the bunch for sure. Lots of little sewing pieces, lots of little details, but her hair is so cute. I think it's a great pattern. I think she came out absolutely precious. Next up, we have Naruto. This is one of my absolute favorites of the bunch, and he is best boy. I haven't done his Leaf Village symbol yet, but it's on my to-do list. We're in crunch mode for sure, but I wanted to make sure I could get this vlog out for you guys. So for now, his headband is blank, but just pretend. The next cuties I crocheted are a shameless plug because this is my first ever written and produced pattern. You can find it on my Etsy at astitchingwitch, and I'll also link it down in the description below. But I made Chao from the Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Chao Gardens. I've got the normal Chao. I have the hero Chao. And I have the dark Chao. And all of these come as separate patterns or as a pattern bundle. They work up super quick. I just think they're precious, and I mean, I might be biased, but I think they're the best ones out there. So if you're a Sonic lover like me, I highly recommend you check out my pattern. It would mean the world to me. Speaking of Sonic characters, it's absolutely time that I share with you one of my favorite patterns I've ever done, and it is any Sonic pattern by Hook and Haven. So far, I have made all 3, and I've had the privilege of pattern testing the Knuckles pattern. So these cuties are coming with me to Momocon, and maybe they'll come home and stay with me forever because I don't even want to sell them. They're so cute. I've got my Shadow. These patterns do require a lot of sewing, but I think it's worth every second. They are so perfect. They look perfect. So got my Knuckles. And I'm patiently awaiting her Tails pattern that she's working on. That will be my next make, absolutely. And if all of these sell at Momocon, I may just have to remake them all so that I can take a group picture with all of them because Sonic is my all-time favorite franchise. And so these patterns have just been so much fun. Honestly, they're not necessarily market friendly because they take so long to work up, but it was still worth it because I had a blast working on them. So I would do it again in a heartbeat. Up next, we have another absolutely incredible pattern, and that is this Appa pattern by Shine Crafts. It is just gorgeous, all of the little details, and this is actually the only pattern that I hand sew anything onto. I have completely hand sewn the entire stripe down his back, and I think it just adds so much visually. Instead of gluing or trying to crochet it on and getting the proportions right, I feel like it just looks so crisp and beautiful like this. And this is the 3rd or 4th Appa I've made from this pattern, and it is just an excellent pattern. I have a great time working on it every time. It gets a lot of attention at markets. It does take a little while. It's a pretty intensive pattern, but again, it's just one of those where it's like it doesn't even feel like work because I just enjoy working on it so much. So that's our Appa. Next up, we have another one of my patterns, which is Turbo Granny from Dan to Dan, complete with a real bell and little toe beans. This pattern is very similar to my Chao pattern. It has a very similar build. It works up pretty quickly. There are a lot of details that you can either choose to do or not do. It has a completely detailed diagram, a printable true to size diagram of all of the eye and facial details if you are using the same yarn as me, which is Bernat Blanket. So I would like to think I supplied you with all of the details and all of the resources to make it super pretty, super crisp, really nice. So if you're interested, this is on my Etsy as well, and it will be in the pattern list down below. Next up, I made 2 choppers because chopper is always one of the most popular, as one piece is always one of the most popular. So I made 2 of these guys. there we go. 2 of these little guys to come with me this weekend, and yeah, this is another great pattern by Shinecraft. She's excellent at what she does. Every pattern I've ever made from her is a 10 out of 10. So up next, I made 2 Finn the Humans because Adventure Time is one of my all-time favorite shows, and what would convention prep be if I wasn't making things I love? So we have 2 of these babies. I also have 1 BMO in here. Where's my BMO? And 1 BMO. I intended to make more, but I ran out of time, so at least we got 1 BMO. Maybe they'll go home together. So those are my Adventure Time friends for this market. I've made Jake and LSP in the past, but I didn't get around to it for this one. But up next, I made the Radish Spirit from Spirited Away. He's so chunky. Oh my goodness. And he's got his little ties secured in the back so that this stays put, which I think is really fun. And he's got his little sake bowl, right? On his head, and he is another one of my favorites. I just think he's such a great character, and I love all the screen time he gets, and so he's one of those like more obscure, more niche characters that I just absolutely love to make and work on. So that's my Radish Spirit. So I made 2 Sleeping Kirbys because these are always super popular. They always find homes, so I always try to make at least 2 to bring with me. They are on the larger side, so I can't always like batch a bunch of them, but got 2 of them. Up next, we have Shenron from Dragon Ball Z. My favorite part about this pattern is the way they shape the eyes. Let's see if I can. I just think the eye details are so beautiful and so well written, and his little whiskers are super cute. And he's not the only dragon I made. I do have 1 more dragon in my lineup, and that is Haku. Another one with the most adorable little whisker detail. He's a little bit smaller than Shenron. This is Bernat Blanket, and this is a Chenille Home Slim, the bigger one. So they're a little bit different in size, but they were both super fun to make. I also love how his toes came out. Let's see if I can show you his toes. Up next is a character from one of the best new age anime of all time, which is of course Frieren. I just loved every minute of this show, and I knew I had to make a Frieren for the convention, even if I had to make the pattern myself, which I did not. I was able to find a lovely pattern that will be linked in the description. So she's got all of her cute little details, little blush, the pigtails. So I'm very excited to put this on display this year. Up next, we have kind of a wild card pattern, and this is another one that I've written. It hasn't been released yet because I haven't done pattern testing, but let me know if you're interested in this pattern, if you think I should do a pattern tester call and eventually release it, because if so, I would love a hand. I am always looking for more pattern testers, and that is, oh hi Dumpling, that is my Club Penguin pattern. I was such a Club Penguin girly growing up. I was addicted, like absolutely obsessed. I played every single day, and so I have been itching to make this pattern for a while. It's just been sitting on my shelf since like February. So if you're interested, please comment and tell me, give me the motivation to post a pattern tester call, because I'm pretty sure I'll have it completely written. Dumpling, come on. I'm pretty sure I have it completely written and ready to go. I just need testers. So if you're interested in testing, please give me a follow on Instagram at astitchingwitch. It would be a huge help to have some additional pattern testers when I go ahead and drop this. Now we're going to move on to some of our smaller items that are going to be inexpensive, some that I was able to make large batches of. I'm going to go ahead and get one of these out the way, which is my Stardew Valley mystery bags. I do unfortunately already have these packaged up because it's a couple days before I have to pack up and leave, so not everything was able to wait for this video, but inside these mystery bags, I made blue chickens, void chickens, Junimos, and 1 krobus. So I am very excited to have these out. I am participating in a Cozy Gamer themed stamp rally, so I thought these would be a super fun addition to my booth for Momocon. So if you'll be there, be sure to come by and get a stamp card, collect some free goodies from us. We're gonna have a lot of really cute stuff. So that's what's inside these. Moving on, I have some little Eevees, and I did make 4 of them. Ugh, I don't know why I have to hold them like that. I made 4 of them. They are super small, super quick to work up. This is a free pattern, and the free pattern does include all of the evolutions, so it is a 10 out of 10. It is a great free pattern. It shouldn't be free. She should be charging for this because it's gold. So those are my Eevees. I have been making Pikmin. I have tried a lot of Pikmin patterns in the past, and they have all given me a lot of trouble. There have been some questionable pattern writing choices in previous ones, but this pattern right here is by the same pattern creator that did all of the Sonic patterns, and it's excellent. It's Hook and Haven, and these are fantastic. They work up so quick. They are super intuitive. You don't have to use wiring or anything, which a lot of Pikmin patterns require wiring, which is, again, not ideal for a convention or a market or anything like that. I feel like I prefer not to have to disclose to customers that there's wiring and you have to be careful, and these are perfect. So I made 2 red, 2 yellow, 2 blue, and 1 purple, which this purple is a different pattern creator than the primary colored Pikmin, but it's also a very great pattern. These ones are no-sew, low-sew. I believe these ones are all completely no-sew, and then this one does require some sewing, but very cute, very great pattern still. So those are all the Pikmin I made. Up next is another free pattern, and that is this Psyduck. I made 4 of these, and they are just the perfect size. They're so cute. I love all the little details with them. She also has in the pattern examples of different ways to do the eyes, but I personally love his headache eyes, so that is what I went with for all 4. Lastly, for the Pokemon, I made some little baby Pikachus. I'm pretty sure I made 3 of these, but I don't see it in my stack. It must still be in my office, but I'm pretty sure I made 3 of these. These are also super easy to work on, super quick to work up, very cute details. In addition to the small Junimos and the Stardew Valley mystery bags, I also made 2 larger Junimos for the table. I made a bunch of Soot Sprites carrying different color stars in different poses. I believe, oops, got some fuzz from the other plushies. I believe I have 6 of these. I can't hold them all up for you, but pretend there's 6. I'm missing 1, actually. There he is. And this one, I don't think was technically one pattern. I think that I freehanded this, or maybe used a combination of patterns, but I do have a few free Soot Sprite patterns, so I will link the closest one to this down below. The smallest item I made for the booth are these little pocket Kirbys. I believe I made 6 or maybe 8 of these. Just very simple little guys. I find that it's really difficult to encapsulate all of Kirby's facial details with crochet, especially because his eyes are so detailed. So I typically will opt for a little one like this with the plastic safety eyes, or one like the Sleeping Kirby where I can embroider them as opposed to trying to do all of the layering out of felt, because I feel like this just gives a much cleaner look. So I made 6, 8 of these. And lastly, but not least, I did something a little different. This is not technically an anime or a video game themed plushie, but I wanted to do my own spin on the Leggy frogs. I feel like Leggy frogs are really popular, but I also feel like everybody does them, and I try to make as many things as possible that are different from other crochet vendors so that my booth will stand out. So first up, I made clown frogs, and I also did bullfrogs, not just Leggy frogs. So in addition to the 3 Leggy frogs with clown hats, I also made 2 round bullfrogs with clown hats, which the bullfrogs are my personal favorite of the 2 patterns, but I like to have a mixture of both. So all together, I've got 5 clown frogs, and then I made 2 Leggy frogs with cowboy hats, and 3 round bullfrogs with cowboy hats. And honestly, I just think these are so much fun. I think it's such a fun twist on the Leggy frog or like crochet frog trend. And the hats are all freehand. I didn't write it down, but I'm sure you could find something similar for other plushies if you looked on Butler or Etsy or Instagram. I'm sure they exist. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in like a hat pattern bundle of a bunch of different crochet hats that you could put on your plushies of this size, because I know a lot of market prep plushies do come in this general size. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. I'd be happy to get all my thoughts together on paper and put that out for you guys. And if that's the case, be sure to follow my Instagram. Like I mentioned previously, I do all of my pattern testing over on there. It's the first place to get any sort of crochet update that I would be putting out. And I just have a lot of great behind the scenes content out there, so you should come hang out regardless. So yeah, that is absolutely everything that I have crocheted from Momocon 2025, which is my next
Artist Alley. I am booth number 1902. I'm going to be one of the 10 by 10 booths right by the exit. I'm going to be the second one from the end.
And with that, my mic died, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you're a crochet artist, I hope this gave you some inspiration. If you're just hanging out, I hope you had fun while I showed you all of the plushies I made. Be sure to keep an eye out for my next Momocon Artist Alley vlog, and I look forward to seeing you here next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!